I think a big misconception about feelings and emotions is that happiness is the goal all the time, whereas that's really not the case. All emotions serve a really, really important purpose. With that being said, it's also important to understand that not all emotions are fact, and that just because we feel a certain way doesn't mean that we need to act on them.
It's important to understand how our brain actually works and processes those feelings. So if you can imagine that this is your brain, we're going to use this part of our brain as though it's the thinking part of our brain. And down here is actually the emotional part of our brain. And what happens is typically our brain looks like this. And so the thinking part of our brain is actually communicating with our emotional side of our brain. So this is how we're functioning normally, but what happens is there's daily stressors that come up in life, or maybe, I stub my toe on something. And in these moments, our feelings can actually take over. And what happens is we flip our lid. And so when this happens, we lose that communication between the top part and the bottom parts of our brain. And so there's a video that you'll see by Daniel Siegel, and it outlines this flipping your lid. And so it's really important to use different grounding strategies so that we can use both our thinking and emotional parts of our brain to work through problems and to stay regulated.
Mindfulness is really, really important to practice as we're starting to learn about our emotions and navigate them. We can learn to feel things as they come up. Sometimes emotions come up within certain places in our body, and becoming attuned to that and really allowing ourselves to feel things as they come up and be present. And that's what mindfulness is all about, and not fighting any particular emotion, allowing ourselves to feel things as they come. And there are going to be really uncomfortable feelings at times, but that's where we can bring in really important coping strategies. There's no bad emotion, and that emotions are our biggest communicators. So emotions allow us to understand how we should respond to certain things, and they can sometimes be our best communicators.